What's going on, guys? So I had a brand reach out to me a little over a week ago, about a week and a half ago. A brand I had never heard of. I was intrigued. They showed me that, they had these awards. I think it was Men's Journal and so on. I'll have it on screen for whatever ones it was. I was like, okay, sounds like you got something to offer here. So we'd love to send you our new fragrance and get your thoughts on it. We love your reviews, yada, yada, yada. So typical stuff. As long as you're good with what I say, let me check out the website. Saw it. Actually looked at the note breakdown. I was like, this is a little different. It's a little bit different of a freshie. So I was intrigued. Jumped on it. I'm actually pleasantly surprised. This is Blu Atlas Atlantis. I'm going to deep dive into this one a little bit. So stay tuned. I would be remiss if I didn't show you guys the box, because it's actually kind of nice here. Has all the fragrance info, eau de parfum, name of the fragrance. On the bottom, 100 ml, 3.4 ounce. Blu Atlas raised. I mean, it's actually quite nice. Magnetic flip top box. And it does have this little piece that goes over it, but cutout foam for the bottle to fit. I was actually pretty happy with the way this presentation worked out. It's actually quite a nice box. Now, as far as this bottle, so eerily similar to Bleu de Chanel's bottle. So it's pretty similar. I don't know if it's exact, but definitely very similar. Painted matte black, that raised BA for Blu Atlas. Name of the fragrance, Blu Atlantis on there. It is a magnetic cap. Not the strongest magnetic cap, strong enough, but I'd still, I still wouldn't want to pick it up by the cap all the time. It does okay, but if you even angle it a little bit, it can come off. But I do like the magnetic caps. And this is impressive. Soft, pressure-sensitive atomizer. Pressurized and pressure-sensitive. You want to spray a little? Spray a little. Or you can spray a lot. And you can spray paint across your body. I actually put the short video on YouTube as well, but I did a video on IG, a scent of the day, because I haven't done that in a while, where I throw my scent of the day on and do a little quick short post with it, and I did it with this one. And
somebody gon' get to tell them that I'm coming. And you can tell them that I'm coming. Tell them that I'm somebody tell the world that I'm coming. I'm trying to tell the world that I'm coming. You tell them that I'm coming. Somebody tell the world that I'm coming. Somebody tell the world that I'm coming. I've been standing on the outside.
just impressive. And smell that opening again. It's my scent of the day currently. The opening here is very bright, mouth-watering type of citrus, but it's different. It almost has, like my wife, when she first smelled it, she thought tangerine. Turns out it's apricot and peach that's really standing out. It's this peach note, but it doesn't lend it to be feminine. There's bergamot, there's, I believe, lemon, there's a little black currant that kind of adds this dark tart aspect to it without being bitter. It's a little bitter, but not as bitter as blackcurrant can be at times. The main stars here is this peach and this apricot mixed with the other citruses. You get a blend, a medley, if you will, but those two kind of jump out at me. And as it starts to settle, you don't really lose the apricot. The apricot is the kind of fruity tone that stays for the rest of the life of the fragrance. It never fades away on my skin. There's a nice soft muskiness to this fragrance, very clean, extremely clean, versatile, but still somewhat masculine scent. I wouldn't call this extremely masculine. I think ladies could pull this off, but it does smell like a guy's type of everyday fragrance. Super versatile scent profile that isn't every freshie. The note breakdown's a little different. Like I said, the peach and apricot really separate this. There's violet, there's orris, but it's not very floral, and it's not extremely powdery. I was very surprised, because when I saw those notes, that's the first thing that comes to mind, especially with orris, and then a combination with violet. I'm like, this is going to be a floral and powdery freshie. This is really going to be my cup of tea. And I'm not disappointed in any way, shape, or form with how it turned out, but it is not dominant on the floral. So if that kind of thing concerns you, have no fear. The citruses stand out a lot of clean musk. There's a little floral tone. There's a very soft powdery touch, and I mean just a little bit. Don't think fragrances like Dior Homme, Prada L'Homme, Business Over Pleasure, any of those. Those are more dominant in the florals and the powdery tone, whereas here it's more citrus freshness, clean musk. Extremely versatile. There's some oak moss here that provides a little bit of an earthy dark tone in the backdrop, but doesn't really add much fresh spice or a heavy green tone to the fragrance. Bottom line, this is a beautiful scent that the quality is better than I had even hoped for. This goes for $100 USD for this 100 ml. I actually think that's an extremely fair price because it's not a very synthetic fragrance. I mean, I put this right up there with the higher end of designers as far as quality. I wouldn't sit here and say it's niche level type of oils, but designer level quality for sure, but on the upper echelon of there, because it is a very lovely smell. It's believable peach and apricot. The musk is very clean. There's no real rough around the edges tone at any phase of this fragrance, even in the opening. The opening is beautiful, the opening blast, and as it settles down, it just gets better and better. You lose some citruses, but you don't lose all of the fruitiness, because like I said, the apricot stays. It kind of works well with the muskiness, that little tone of oak moss that you're going to get for that light earthy tone, and then you have that touch of florals as well. I think it smells awesome. I'm very impressed with the scent. As far as performance, this is actually a mixed bag that I think suits most guys' everyday needs, because it's been pretty long lasting for the most part. I've been testing this one for about 5 days now. I've given it an evening wear, and then I'm wearing it again today. So 2 full wearings and several days of test sprays, and I've been getting right in that 7 to 8 hour range of life on my skin before it starts to become a faint skin scent and kind of fades into obscurity. So safely I can say my experience has been 6 to 8 hours of longevity. It's fantastic for such a fresh fragrance. This is very fresh, but has a lot of body at the same time, a little bit of depth. Not a very complex and deep fragrance, but it does have some depth to it. The projection, however, in the first hour, very bright, very loud, very airy. It's bright and ozonic. It's a lot of fresh citrus. Little bit of fruity sweetness, like I said, from the peach and the apricot. It's just a wonderful opening. Point being, it's very attractive. It can grab, it can captivate. Wife went gaga for this one the first time she smelled it. Today, she kept sniffing on me when we were in the car. Loves this fragrance. Just wanted to give you guys the experience I've been having with it. So projection, hour. Pretty loud. Into that hour and a half range. That's when it starts to sit close to the skin. So the reason I say it was a mixed bag is because it's pretty long lasting, but projection isn't like long for a long amount of time. It's hour and a half average type of stuff, slightly above average projection, ever so slightly. You could just call it average, maybe arm's reach type of stuff for a little while. If you're in a well circulated room, it'll reach out a little better, or if somebody's downwind from you, they can follow in your trail, and so on. So nothing spectacular on the projection, but nothing really weak. Sillage is kind of in that moderate to mild range where it's detectable. It does remind me lightly with little hits of the aroma from time to time that it's there, but nothing that's on the relatively strong side where I could even put it into that moderate territory. But it's not very weak to where I spray it and then after a few hours I forget it's there because it never rears its head to let me know it's still there. This one definitely lets me know it's still there. Well into like the 5, 6, 7 hour mark, I still get pretty often. I'll get light whiffs depending on how I turn, how well the room's circulated, my movements and such, as you guys already know from being familiar with wearing fragrances on a regular basis. So across the board, if you kind of combine all 3 categories for performance, it's slightly above average across the board because it's above average in longevity. It's kind of average in projection, and it's average to slightly above average in its sillage. So across the board, I would say slightly above average performance, but it does suit the scent profile very well. That's where it works hand in hand. So performance, I think, is good for this one. Final thoughts on Blu Atlas Atlantis. I'm taken back because I'm surprised at how much this was enjoyable. I expected it to be good. I didn't think it was not going to be a good fragrance. It's much better than I anticipated it to be. It's been much more of a joy. It's another one of those fragrances that you can appreciate the first time you smell, but as you start to wear it more, it just becomes more and more enjoyable for you, for those around you the most, and such. It's a very nice fragrance, and it's right below what most designers are going for at retail these days. It's an eau de parfum concentration. It performs like a pretty good designer level eau de parfum would perform for the most part. You're going to get some good longevity, you're going to get average projection, and so on. It kind of falls right into that. I think this stuff is very good. Not quite great, but very good at a 7.5 out of 10. This is some solid stuff right here. I have it on my arm, have it around my neck. There's no need to spray it and smell it at the atomizer again, but let's show that atomizer one more time just for the hell of it. It's so good. Beautiful opening. One of the better openings I've smelled in a long time when it comes to fresh fragrances, because there's a little bit of uniqueness to this because of the peach apricot combo to go with the lemon, bergamot, and black currant. There's a lot of fruitiness. There's a lot of mouth-watering citrus here. There's a little bit of a tartness to it, that type of appeal. It's just good stuff. Well, that's my thoughts and feelings on Blu Atlas Atlantis. Thank you so much to the brand for reaching out and sending this out to me so I could experience it. I have been enjoying this. I can see this one being in the rotation. This is a great everyday fragrance. Very, very versatile. I can't see a bad situation to wear this. It's a fresh, enjoyable, mass-appealing fragrance with some decent performance to it. Everybody needs something like that in their wardrobe. Is this the end-all, be-all? No, but I do think it's a great option that's worth sampling. This is worth sampling if you're looking for a freshie that's a little different. It's not completely a through-and-through freshie. There's a lot of fresh aspects, a little bit different, a little bit of body to it, and some decent performance. It's, like I said, solid fragrance. And until next time, I will say if you get your hands on Blu Atlas Atlantis and you give it a spray now, pretty confident you'll thank me later. Just pretty good stuff. Have a good one, guys.